All right, they look like they're all set. You about ready to get this game 2 going?
Hell yeah, let's do it.
All right, here we go. With more coastline than any country in the world, the nooks and crannies of the shores of northern Canada set the stage for a showdown between opposing fleets. Amidst the barren rocks and snow-capped peaks, only one team will remain unvanquished. This is Warrior's Path. Warrior's Path is a 48 by 48 kilometer domination-style map with 3 cap points running in a line from west to east. The A cap is on the extreme left, B is in the center, and C is on the far right. To the west, Cap A has enough nearby island cover that it generally attracts at least one radar cruiser from each team. There is island cover within the cap that gives destroyers the options of entering and hunkering down to contest it, but it's exceptionally risky. Capture Area B is a difficult and challenging place to be in the early going of a game. Between radar and enemy aircraft, destroyers within the cap will be easily spotted. Though they have cover in the form of the tall island in the center of the cap, they risk being pinned down there if the opposing team is determined to find a way to wipe them out. Off to the east, the sea cap offers solid cover for friendly cruisers along the northwestern and southwestern edges, but precious little inside the cap itself. The long, narrow channel to the east that connects C and B is a frequent place to see pushes occur in the mid to late game, depending on the board position of each team. Warrior's Path has a long and storied history within the tournament, having produced many close and competitive games. It begs the question, what memorable plays and matches will result this time around? 18 ships, 2 teams, 1 victor. It's time to play Warrior's Path.
All right, so we've got Gearing Yu Yang, Moskva Zhao, Double Wooster, Republique this time instead of Yamato, Montana, and Putin once again is in the midway. We have, looks like, a complete AC split, both sides not willing to really commit to B-cap just yet.
Indeed. Well, we've got a very similar team comp here on this side of things. We've dumped the Stalingrad and picked up a Zhao in its place, but other than that, that seems to be the only change. We're looking at Hindenburg, Des Moines, Worcester, Yamato heading towards C as Gearing, Zhao, Hindenburg, and Yamato head towards A. An AC split on this side as well. Not surprising. B is a very, very unpleasant place to be early on.
Yeah, especially because with carriers, you get spotted going into B, and you either hug that island or die.
Yeah, and you just kind of hug it and hope.
Yes.
Now,
meanwhile, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, the TSPC carrier has done something, and we've talked about it both games, right? He's launching his torp bombers off the deck of his hack. He's dumping the torps, and then he's using them as advanced scouts. In some cases, the whole squadron is a loss, but he's sending them out there to get an idea of how the enemy is deploying, and it's worked really well. Like, we got a glimpse at five of your 9 ships over there before he lost one squadron and the other one got turned back. So, for example, we know that there's a Worcester, a Moskva, and a Republic headed to A, and a Worcester and a Montana headed to B. That's what we could see that.
Mm-hmm. And that initial sacrifice brings so much vision and data to the team.
Information.
So they can get themselves set up.
Information is king here. I'm going to be really curious to see Zath, and we're going to talk about this a lot over the course of the tournament, I think. I'm going to be fascinated to see what happens next King of the Sea if the carrier changes have gone live by then.
Oh, yeah. That's gonna be amazingly different. The thing about carrier, with the way the rework is going, I mean, you get vision still, but you can only get vision on one area. So you're going to have to work with the team more and say, hey, can you scout out this place, and that sort of thing. And, that's going to be a huge difference in the way things go.
Yep. Well, we see here Lando Calrissian and Time are headed, Gearing Zhao pair headed way over to the 1 line. Looks like we're going to see some smoked up Zhao action coming. Mike Hill lit briefly in the A cap. He will succeed in capping that. There's nothing that TSPC can do to stop him right now. They seem content with that, though. Just let them have that early cap. They did it last game as well. And very patient play out of these teams, at least out of TSPC. Just don't push the cap early. Protect their 1 destroyer, make some plays, and then go from there.
Putin did a nice job trying to get in and dunk on the Des Moines, but 2 fighter squadrons and Des Moines anti-air said no. Interestingly, I think that had he dunked him, just dropped him immediately, he might have gotten 1 or 2 bombs off. Instead, he tried to avoid the strafe, which he was able to do. but that took time, and that caused his other fighters, or sorry, his other bombers to get completely whacked. Now, one thing I want to speak about too is I completely disagree with the use of the Yu Yang again. Honestly, I don't know, obviously, what my kill has available to him in terms of destroyers, but I think a Gearing would be a lot more useful, or a Grozavoy.
Well, you tend to see Yu Yang a lot in clan battles, but in clan battles you don't have to deal with the anti-air aspect is not really an issue. You don't worry about it because obviously there's no carriers. Whereas here, the more popular destroyers tend to be Gearing and certainly Grozavoy, just because you will eventually get spotted by planes, but your AA is enough of a threat that you will drive them away.
Yep.
So yeah, I like you. I don't know that Yu Yang is a bad choice, but I don't think it would be my first choice. So I don't know.
Yep.
Yu Yang is a great little boat, but I think for King of the Sea, maybe not the right pick.
Yep. Now, key move right here, I want to highlight Timba. He's scouting with his bombers up the one line. He's also scouting with his torpedo bombers right up the middle. And that's important because it's basically allowing the Wooster. We saw him momentarily, and he's going to go into B now. He knows that there's nothing there that can contest him at all, that both battleships don't have an angle on him, even if he gets spotted.
Yep.
So, I mean, talk about an easy way to get in and cap.
Yep, that's exactly what he's doing. We see Retribution now. He's turned out here. He's going to reverse and back into the B cap and try to claim it essentially for free, as there are no TXT ships, battleships or otherwise, that have an angle on him.
Now, one thing I also want to mention, a lot of players seem to feel that King of the Sea is just a whole lot of camping, camp session, blah, 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 getting smoke and camp. It is and it isn't. I think it's more of a patience thing than anything else. Like, teams that have good patience will typically do better than teams that just get impatient and say, well, I'm just going to go in and do this.
You're absolutely right, and we see that frequently in the cross-server events. Historically, and I'm generalizing here, but historically the North American teams have tended to be more aggressive to the cap, more focused on controlling the board, and the European teams have played the longer game and generally tend to be more focused on kills.
Yep.
Calrissian into the bottom end of A here, but probably won't be there long. He's already within radar range of this Wooster. Bullet Justice Wooster caught in the gap there, quite close to the cap circle. No cover nearby. He's probably going to be the target of some focus fire here. Calrissian backs out.
He's got to make a choice at this very moment. He needs to decide: am I going to YOLO in and push because I'm spotted, or am I going to try to get out? I think he's going to try to get out, and I think that's going to seal his fate pretty quick here.
Right now, it looks like he's going to stop, which I don't think I agree with. If I'm the Yang, I'm trying to smoke him, get over there and get him some cover, because he has nothing. He is completely exposed.
There's the Gearing again.
He's got Gearing Torps in his face. I don't know he's going to be able to do much about that. He's got Zhao shells, Hindenburg shells, Yamato shells. He's in a very exposed position over here. 7.5 minutes gone, and TXT is the only one who scored points, but we saw this last game. They bolt out to an early lead, and TSPC got back into it. Go ahead, Zaf.
Yep, there's the patience. And here's the problem. Now, I was just going to mention, the Wooster's going to drag the Yu Yang in right in front of those Gearing Torps. Exactly. And then
Yang just ate one.
Meanwhile, you notice how the Yang smoke is going to just not be enough.
And the Wooster's going to eat one too.
For people? Nope, he'll be fine.
Woo! Right down the hole.
People, though, pro tip for people, if you're going to smoke up your friend, you have to get on your friend. You can't do it in front, especially in a game with carriers. You have to do it on the person.
Justice finally does go unspotted. He's behind the smoke cloud. No planes over there to see him at the moment. Lando Calrissian.
Kill is making a big mistake here.
Yep.
And he's going to pay for it.
Yep, there he goes. Calrissian was moving up to try and get on the cap, ended up spotting my kill, and a single Zhao salvo is enough to polish off what little health he had left after the torpedo hit.
Yep, and that comes with the discipline too. I'm spotted, that doesn't mean I start shooting. It means that I need to get out of being spotted as quickly as possible.
Bullet Justice spotted again here, broadside to all these ships down south. Here comes the Yamato salvo. Oh, I think only one of those landed home. Quite a few shells. How much? He can't have much health left.
He's at 4K burning. I mean, he's basically done,
Whew.
bar. But he's going to get behind the island and probably survive, even though he's on double fire.
A lot of action at A. We haven't seen much going on anywhere else. Retribution still hasn't managed to cap B. I'm a little surprised by this. He's backed in a couple of times and keeps getting driven off.
Yep. I don't like this Moskva's positioning on our team here, Oil, Sweat, and Steel. He should be up to the right, kind of where the Wooster's going right now. Kind of playing a side Stalingrad or something right there. Where he is right now, he's just allowing himself to get spotted, and people can fire arc right over the island, that sort of thing.
Oh, I see what's been happening at B now. We've been having a Wooster staring contest as Apache reversing back in. Oh, now,
Yes.
goodness. There's a Montana with shots on Retribution now. Here come the AP bombs. AP bombs do not get anything there.
No.
DF and defensive fire, and a good strafe wipes most of them out.
Apache just lost half his health to the Yamato, and he's just lost another chunk to the other Yamato. Yep, and once again, now they're clicking on those torpedo bombers saying, damn it, get these guys out of here. Once again, that spotting is huge.
You mean these ones in the center of the map here in C5?
Yes.
Yeah. The vision control that TSPC has been managing is really just is this kind of one of the deciding factors of this. TSPC down points as we cross the halfway mark of the match, but up a ship and with a vastly big health advantage and a much better board position, in my opinion. Lando Calrissian does finally start to convert A. Go ahead.
Wombo Kill in the Des Moines is in a position to start pushing up now. He doesn't see Chipmunk Rage yet. Chipmunk is being smart and staying right outside of that Des Moines radar. But that Des Moines is pounding away on the Montana from long range. And there's nothing the Montana can do about it, really.
I'm gonna kick your ass.
Another potential AP bomb strike here as the bombers coming in for Wumbo over at C. Oh, but the fighters are there.
Dodge the strafe.
And Wumbo's going to take a torp.
Yeah, the bombers just die too quickly here.
Yep. The TSPC carrier is just doing a fantastic job of vision control and keeping his fighters in just the right places to protect the vulnerable ships in his team from those AP bombs.
Yep.
I have not seen much of the Midway torpedo bombers. Have I just missed them in all the other mess?
Here's the problem with playing Midway. Midway is a very strike-oriented carrier, so you want to strike things. And in the process, it takes an awful lot of time to get your bombers into position to do just that without getting spotted by a plane or a ship and having fighters vectored in. Look over at ACAP right now. He's probably detecting those torpedo bombers at A.
Yes, he can see them.
Right.
Now,
so what's he going to do now? Is he going to go for the strike? If he does, I mean, there's a fighter right there. It says no.
You know, we've been kind of talking up TSPC, but I gotta say, for all of that, TXT does have a 200-point lead with less than 8 minutes to play. So they're not doing. They've held ACAP almost the entire game, while TSPC's really struggled to get into capture points at all. Now that's,
yeah, but the problem is that both B and C are being capped right now.
It's been a very slow, steady gain for TXT, but it has been working. Bullet Justice spotted again, only back up on about 10,000 HP.
Yeah, he just took a stern fire and DCP'd immediately. My guess is he's on maybe one more repair party, if not zero.
Well, with 13 minutes gone in the match, TSPC finally bags their first cap as they snag B and C almost simultaneously. Lando Calrissian has moved into A very aggressively up against some cover. He is not going to get rooted out of there anytime soon. TSPC will shortly own all of the caps.
Now, Wumbo just took a torpedo to the face. I don't know if he's going to be flooding or not, because we just lost vision on him.
He is not flooding. He is repairing.
What I figured.
Yep.
So this is where the problem comes in. Sure, you get that torpedo hit, you cause the flood. You got to follow that up. And unfortunately, the Zao was in a position to follow, but then the Yamato was in a position to prevent the Zao from getting too close. So the Zao had to run away, which meant that the Des Moines was able to sit there and just, who cares, just shrug off the damage. As the Yamato bags the Wooster finally, there goes Bullet Justice.
Yep. Bullet Justice becoming the second casualty of the game for TXT as TSPC has closed the gap and will shortly take their first lead with 6 minutes to play. Now, this is the kind of thing that we're used to seeing out of these EU matches. It's been so common for the American team to lead, or the NA team to lead, to like the 4 minute or the 5 minute mark. There's 4 or 5 minutes left to play, and then suddenly the EU team comes out guns blazing, bags 2 quick kills and a cap, and the lead flips, and from then they're just off to the races.
Yep, and here comes Chipmunk going down, and that's going to seal the deal.
Lando may be out over here as well. He's on 3k HP. The Moskva's still got a chance. Maybe his radars are out, I'm not sure, but 3-ship lead is going to be a 3-ship deficit is going to be very difficult for TXT to overcome, and they have no cap control. Both their destroyers are dead.
Moskva was way too passive, and he's going to, I mean, he's not able to do much damage. The Republic over there is at half health, but I really haven't seen any special shots from him yet.
No, I'd have to agree. It doesn't seem like he's been able to do much to these cruisers. I mean, this Hindenburg and Zhao have been sailing around here all game, just kind of having their way with doing whatever they want. Traxian bagging Apache from way over here on the 2 line. That was a really nice shot.
Yeah, I'm looking at that shot right now. That was over the island and nothing but Wooster.
Yeah, that's a nice shot. I'm sorry I missed it, but wow. 5 minutes to play, and it's pretty well all over but the crying here for TSPC. They have almost a 400-point lead, and several other TXT ships are on their way off the board momentarily.
Yeah, it's 1 minute and 30 seconds now until the end of the match. You just heard Dasha talk because I threw Dasha on the Erie.
Oh, yeah, I should do that. Yeah, that'd be good.
Get a little Dasha in here, right?
TXT coming in with the GG. I think they know that this is essentially over.
And this is a best of 3, which means that this is it now for this first set, right?
Yeah, this will be the end of us for our first match. We'll have to look around and see if somebody's got a game 3. TSPC looking just as solid as they did last time through the tournament, as they will go 1-0 here. One match win, that is, here in Group H.
Interesting observation. The Zhao Blackhawk didn't fire torpedoes. I wonder if his torps are down or if they've been destroyed or something. But yeah, it seems a little odd that he's kiting away and he's within torpedo range, but he didn't bother to shoot them.
His launchers look okay, so they should be there.
Yeah, exactly.
Might have been disabled, but they aren't destroyed.
And the Republic goes down. Hindenburg just chewed him up and ate him, you know, for breakfast, and that's it. 9 seconds to go. At this point, might as well go broadside.
And there we go. Yep, knew it was coming. There it is. All right, well, GG to both teams as TSPC claims the match. They will be, well, they're not really moving on because it's just group stage, so we're just playing another round in a minute.
Yeah, the whole idea, guys, for the group stage is you're just, it's kind of like exhibition play, right? Everybody just gets to play and practice, essentially, see how things go. And then the big stuff comes next weekend, right?